John Eccleston for Boating New Zealand magazine. The subject of today's review is the Nautitech 47. So this boat is owned by Coastal Adventures and they're going to be offering something quite special, a food experience on the water. Now that's something that we're about to enjoy today, really looking forward to it, and hopefully the weather's going to pick up for us.
Ahi means a lot of things. Like it means like a beacon of knowledge, but also like a lighthouse. And when you come in into the harbour, you can see us there all lit up. We're fully glassed with a glass roof. And ahi ka means to keep the home fires burning. So in Māoridom, obviously they didn't have land ownership per se. It was more about you occupied the land, therefore you owned it. So if any of your whānau left that land, you no longer owned it, so they always would keep someone there to keep the home fires burning. That's what ahi ka means, you know, so it's sort of, I really like that. Okay, so this is a little tuna salad. It's this tuna, it's yellowfin. It's been caught off the back of Great Barrier. It's served. It's another sort of signature at ahi. This served with avocado in a dressing made with perilla or shiso, and that's that dark coloured leaf there. It's a Japanese mint.
I'm with Dave Sutherland, owner of the Nautitech 47 Naughty Boys. Dave, tell us a little bit about your business. This is a rather special business. It's the first one I'm aware of in Auckland. What is it that you've got going with this particular vessel?
Yeah, well, we're just in the process of getting the boat put into charter.
Yes.
So, you know, it was when we selected the boat, we wanted to have something that wasn't just a big palatial thing on the water, but it was about sort of intimate experiences, and we got that from our hospitality background, which is really what we're focusing on, and our connection with the ahi restaurant.
Okay. So what are you offering your guests who come aboard this boat?
Yeah, well, it's very much about a food offering, but it's food on the water. So the ahi restaurant, the ahi name means fire, or it means beacon. And with this boat, we'll be giving them that restaurant experience on the water. So it's ahi on the water. So I think, you know, people are familiar with enjoying our beautiful harbour, but what we wanted to do was bring the food offerings and make it about experiencing that food, not just in a restaurant setting, but experiencing it closer to where some of this food is actually produced and sourced. And so I think that's the uniqueness to what we're trying to do.
And it's not any old food either, is it, Dave? It's some pretty good food, isn't it?
Well, I should be asking you that, because you've actually had some of this food. So what's your comment?
I can vouch for the food. The food is absolutely fantastic. And of course, you know, part of that is your partnership with ahi and with the chief chef there, whose name is
Ben Bailey. Yeah. So I've got a restaurant that I'm running with Ben Bailey out in Henderson called The Grounds, and we've been operating that for about 4 years.
Okay.
And then about 2 years ago we thought about, well, what's the next step, and so that was when an opportunity came up to open a restaurant in Commercial Bay. It was long and lengthy negotiations and lots of navel gazing, and, as you know, it's a risky business, as you know, hospitality. But now the restaurant's open, we're all very happy, and Ben's created an amazing food concept there, and it is about the New Zealand food story, which is a great story to tell, isn't it? I mean, yeah, his great question was, what is New Zealand food? And that's what ahi is meant to explain and explore, really, is what is New Zealand food. And then we want to just bring that onto the water and help guests to experience something they may have been able to experience in the restaurant in a totally different environment, and up close and personal. You know, sometimes Ben will be on the boat himself, and so you get that chance to talk to the chef.
As we do today.
Yeah, and find out where this comes from, what's the concept behind it, what's the sustainability,
which was
the meaning behind the food.
Extremely enlightening, I have to say. It was interesting and enlightening.
Yeah.
So to bring it back to the boat itself, this particular boat, it's the first one in New Zealand, the first Nautitech 47 in New Zealand. Why did you go down this one?
We had owned a Lagoon 450, so we had a 45-foot sailing cat, which had been made in France as well.
Okay.
So we were quite familiar with the way the French make their catamarans, and we'd been happy with that boat. We had it since 2012 for 8 years. So I think when we were researching what our options were, we liked the styling, we liked the layout, and yeah, so I mean there's a lot of options out there, so we just settled on this one as our sweet spot for price, performance, but also that experience. We didn't want to go too big that we lose that kind of closeness.
That intimacy you were talking about.
Yeah, that's right. And then, obviously a lot of things change when you've got a 80-foot boat versus a 47-foot boat. But this is very well spec'd for something of this size, so Absolutely. We can get places fast and we can turn on the air conditioning. Our kitchen's, Ben's happy that he can do everything he needs to out of the galley, so it just seems to tick all the boxes.
For a 47-foot boat, there is a massive amount of space here, of course. With that catamaran layout, it just gives you all this space, all this usable space. And what I'm struck by is how many sort of separate entertainment areas you actually have here, or you can pull them all together, open up the doors.
Yeah.
It works. It has worked very well today, but that's obviously one of the things that attracted you to this boat.
So the entertainment area at the front is more extensive, and we've put shade sail areas, so when it's sunny we can use that. It's got a larger fly bridge, so we've had 14-15 people up there comfortably.
Yeah.
So just each area has just had a little bit more room, even though it's only 2 feet extra in size to the boat we had before. It feels like it's a lot bigger.
Well, it's fantastic. So a great addition to the Auckland scene, dining scene, but also the boating scene. Dave, thank you so much for your hospitality today.
That's right. Thanks for coming and sharing it. Yeah, it's been good to have you aboard.
So access onto the boat, of course, is easy. It's really good. Nice wide swim platforms both sides. Again, you get some idea of the actual beam of this boat. It really does give you plenty of space. And of course, there's lots of shelter underneath the hardtop as well. Something that is particular to this boat, and it's a custom feature, if you like, an option that they've gone for, is this lifting platform for the tender. They also call this a dive platform. It's very useful if somebody enjoys diving. You can lower it all the way into the water and people can get in and out. Same for swimmers, so that's a nice addition. So when we step into the saloon, we're greeted again by a really generous space, and it certainly is. It's nice and modern in here too, with a nice sort of mix of colours and timbers. It looks smart, but more importantly, it's a very, very practical space. Very much the gourmet kitchen, nice modern appliances, Bosch appliances among others, a dishwasher, which is a great thing to have on a boat. But look, everything you could possibly want to cook up a storm in here, and clearly that's working very well indeed. There's a nicely laid out helm station. There's pretty good vision ahead over the bow. There's a nice flat area ahead of you that you can see over quite easily. There's probably thick mullions here, but most of the time, in fact, you'll be helming this boat from upstairs, and that's the main helm station. In fact, this is the very first one of this model that has the helm station, a second helm station downstairs like this. So this is a displacement power cat. It likes to cruise at about 21 knots, very comfortable at that speed, but it also has the ability to travel all the way to the Pacific Islands, to Fiji for instance, on its own bottom. It carries enough fuel to do that, although you'd have to bring the speed back to around 8 knots. So the owners of this vessel have opted for the uprated Volvo Penta D4 300 horsepower engines. Now they're widely set in these hulls, so they give you really, really good low speed control. And they've also opted for the bow thruster, which really helps at docking time. So this vessel is the 3-cabin version. It is available in a 4-cabin version as well, but the 3-cabin it works well for this particular owners. So what we're down now in the starboard hull, and if you like, that's the guest wing of this particular boat. So we have 2 guest cabins, each with their own ensuite, nice touch, which makes 3 bathrooms aboard this this vessel. Again, that's quite good when you've got a lot of guests on board. So the port hull is a dedicated master's ensuite, if you like. There's a bedroom aft. And the whole of this hull is devoted to the owner's comfort, and certainly it is a comfortable enough space. We've got a really nice berth here. It's a good size. Lots of light as well, which is nice. And it sort of morphs through into a nice dressing area come office space. And forward we've got a really good sized bathroom, separate shower. Again, there's lots of space considering this boat is only 47 feet long. So we've enjoyed a great day on the water. It was really good to see this boat working as it will be working when it's in charter, and you know, judging by the experience that we've had, I couldn't recommend it highly enough. But it's also clear to see why this boat would have appeal, not just for the sort of work that this particular vessel is doing, but if you were a family wanting a boat with the space and the versatility that this offers, this has got to be well worth thinking about. Masses and masses of room in here, an awful lot of boat for its length, and pretty darn good value as well. John Akelson from Boating New Zealand. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more of these videos, please subscribe to our channel.